All right, troop 10, hut! Forward march! Do something! Welcome to Fort Irving. Sergeant O'Rourke is going on a horse buying expedition. It's too bad because he'll miss the new arrival who just got off the stage.
Driver, that was a fine journey indeed. Thank you very much. Yes, you can go along now. Ah, well now.
My, that face looks familiar.
It certainly does. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I've got it. You're Sergeant O'Rourke's father.
Bright lad, and you must be Corporal Agarn. I don't know why they say you're so dumb.
That was a running gag throughout the show. O'Rourke would say that, and 10 minutes later, at the most absurd moments, Agarn would come back with, "Who says I'm dumb?" Now we know where O'Rourke learned it.
And you must be Wrangler Jade, huh? All right. Now, tell me, has this fine lad asked for your hand in marriage yet?
Well, no, he hasn't.
Don't you worry about a thing. I'll have him on his knees before I leave for the old sod again.
This promises to be a ride and a half.
Now, where's me boy?
He's on a horse buying assignment. He didn't know you were coming.
Oh, well, I wanted to surprise the lad.
Oh, now, don't you worry, Mr. O'Rourke, because I'll send out 2 men immediately to bring him back.
O'Rourke says, "I'll just bunk in my son's quarters rather than the hotel."
I'm an army man, you see. The past commander of the Home Guard. Yes, after a couple of days in your fort, I'll have all your troopers as sharp as the IRA.
That's a good trick, considering the IRA wasn't formed until 1922. Talk about your forward thinking. Agarn is getting a really negative vibe from Mr. O'Rourke. Among other things, he's teaching Dobbs to play Irish ballads on the bugle.
Did I just hear Dobbs playing Reveille?
No, sir. That was Mother McCree.
Mother McCree?
Yes, sir. Mr. O'Rourke taught it to him. I tell you, Captain, that old man is trying to take over the fort.
He's not wrong, but the captain isn't seeing it.
As a matter of fact, it's rather a nice tune. Love the dear silver that shines in your hair. Oh, God bless you and keep you, dear Mother McCree.
By the way, several of our cast members get to sing this episode, and since all the songs are Irish ballads in public domain, it didn't break the budget.
He's got the cook making Irish stew. He's got half the troopers in the barracks doing an Irish jig, and he's got the other half out in back of the fort planting shamrock seeds.
Oh, I didn't realize he'd be this much trouble.
Trouble? I can't help it. It's funny. Huh?
I think now the captain may be seeing it.
Well, haven't we had any word from the 2 troopers who went out looking for Sergeant O'Rourke?
No, sir. I think Privates Gilbert and Sullivan got themselves lost.
We've got to get somebody to find Sergeant O'Rourke.
Well, sir, I sent out Privates Lewis and Clark, and as soon as they find Gilbert and Sullivan, I'm sure they'll find Sergeant O'Rourke.
Don't make that face yet. We're just getting warmed up. Mr. O'Rourke is organizing a fire brigade, among other things.
All right. Now, start the bucket brigade. Dobbs! You're supposed to let go the bucket, lad.
Sorry about that, Chief.
1, 2, 3. Wait.
When Lewis and Clark find Gilbert and Sullivan so they can all find Sergeant O'Rourke, tell him we also need a new wagon. By the time his dad is done, there's nothing left of that one.
Just can't believe, Corporal, that our men can't find Sergeant O'Rourke.
Oh, I'm sure we'll get some word, sir. I just sent Stanley and Livingston out to find Lewis and Clark. We're still looking for Gilbert and Sullivan, who can't find Sergeant O'Rourke.
I stand corrected. When Stanley and Livingston find... Oh, never mind.
Morning, Wilton. Hi, Garn.
Hi, Jane.
Oh, you're wearing a dress, Jane. What's the occasion?
No occasion. Papa O'Rourke says there's an old Irish saying. As long as they made colleens different than they did lads, it's up to the colleen to show the lad where the difference is.
She's definitely showing the differences. And with O'Rourke's help, she's determined to break down Wilton's resistance.
When Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing.
Yeah, I told you not to front of
When
me.
Irish
Jane, you keep that up, and Papa O'Rourke is gonna paint you green.
I have some important military
And
matters.
when Irish eyes are smiling, sure to steal your heart away.
Or not. Wilton doesn't have any resistance. He's just thick. They have to get him out of the fort, so Agarn will take him to the Hakawi camp. He's been wanting to meet some real live Indians. He even makes the deal with Wild Eagle to declare Mr. O'Rourke an honorary chief. Feather headdress and the whole bit.
Corporal, look.
A smoke signal from the Hikawi camp. I wonder what they're saying.
I don't know, sir. Sergeant O'Rourke's the only one who can read smoke.
Chief Wild Eagle is certainly long-winded today.
Not to mention the smoke is black. It's usually white. Agarn has a bad feeling about this. I think it's about time for him to admit he's not very good at this Fire Brigade stuff. Wild Eagle says, get him out of here or we go on the warpath.
No, just one moment here, sir. I wouldn't want to be the chief of a tribe who is resisting progress. I wouldn't.
Oh, keep the headdress. It can serve as a warning to others not to let you anywhere near fire.
Any sign of me son?
Not yet, Pop. But we got every man in F Troop except me and the captain out looking for him.
Oh, well, don't worry. If they don't find him, the wee people will come and tell me where he is.
Well, there was a problem with that. They were going to follow you here, but they had trouble with immigration when they tried to bribe officials with a pot of gold. Right now, they've been deported, and they should be on a ship about halfway back to Ireland. Sorry. His tales about the leprechauns give Jane an idea.
Sure, and begorra, it's Morgan O'Rourke.
All the way from County Galway.
I wouldn't believe it was Morgan O'Rourke unless I seen it with me own eyes.
I don't know how effective it'll be, but Jane is ridiculously adorable in that nose. I couldn't tell you why. They start advising him not to go looking for his son on his own. It's too dangerous.
We're going to bring him back ourselves.
Oh, you know.
There's no problem, Mr. O'Rourke. You can depend on the wee folk.
Yes, I could always depend on the wee folk. What is it now? Have you all gone daft?
Boy, they're good. Say the word and there he is.
Laddie, I want you to meet me leprechaun friends. Now, this one here is Captain Parmenter, and this is Wrangler Jane, and that there is Corporal Agarn.
They did a lousy job of fooling him. Disguising their faces a little more might have helped the deception, as well as not standing up and showing him you're 5 and 6 feet tall. But he's okay with it. In fact, he found it enjoyable. Let's watch the reunion.
Sure, a little bit of heaven fell from out the sky one day, and it nestled on the ocean in a spot so far away. Then they dotted it with silver just to make it look so grand. And when they had it finished, sure they called it Ireland.
How often does a guy get to sing with himself? Forrest Tucker's talents were pretty well boundless. I mentioned at the start of this series that I saw him in the 60s when he played Professor Hill in The Music Man, and I can still see his performance to this day. He was equally at home in comedy and drama, and as we've seen, he was an accomplished singer and dancer. He was also known for hard living and apparently was a smoker, though I haven't found a primary source to verify that. He died from complications of fucking lung cancer and emphysema, and he lived in an era when virtually everybody smoked, so there's a good chance smoking at least contributed to his demise. In his latter years, he also had some problems with alcohol, but again, details are scarce. The main point is, he only lived to 67. That's the age I am now, at least until next month. So I'm giving my pitch again. If you smoke, please quit. I don't know what you think of yourself, but the truth is, you are far too important to this world to throw your life away like that. Please think enough of yourself to take the step and preserve your life for as long as possible, because there's something you're supposed to do. I don't know what it is, and you won't know it until you do it. But if you're not here, it won't get done. So please quit. It's time for O'Rourke Sr. to head back home. Here comes the stage.
Look, our lost troopers. Oh, yeah! There's Donaldson, and Duffy, and Vanderbilt, and Dobbs, and Gilbert, and Sullivan, and Lewis, and Clark, and Holmes, and Watson.
Wait a minute. There's someone missing.
You're right. Hey, Dobbs, where's Livingston?
Oh, don't worry about him, Agarn. Stanley will find him.
Now see, if he'd sent out Holmes and Watson in the first place, none of those other guys would have been necessary. I hope the corporal learned something today. If you're enjoying this, be sure to click the thumbs up button to show you like it. If you're not subscribed yet, punch me in the face right here and get it done. And don't forget that you can become a patron and help keep this kitty fed. The link is below. Until next time.